Welcome back to the Irish Bandit channel, or if you're new here, welcome to the channel. I, as always, am your host, the one, the only, the second Irish Bandit. Today we are continuing on with talking about my 10 favorite songs from every season of Big Mouth. If you didn't catch part 1, where I go through 10 through 6, you can check it out right here over my shoulder. So we're just going to dive right into it. Before we continue on, when we're talking about the top 5, I had such a hard time coming up with this list in total, especially the top 5. So when I created this list, the top 5 were my favorite songs that at that moment I was creating the list. This could change from time to time. These songs in the top 5 are that good. I have a song that's an honorable mention that I'll get to in a little bit, like before we get to my favorite song of the series. But this could all change like next week. So without any further ado, let's just get right down into it. Coming in at number 5 is a song that kicked off this current season of Big Mouth and just had, everybody's feelings being in the pandemic and lockdown and quarantine and all that garbage. Especially one emotion in particular. Coming in at number 5, a song sung by pretty much the entire cast. Well, the kid cast, at least. I say kid, but they're not. Coming in at number 5, I'm So Horny. What a song to kick off the season. I think it really conveyed everyone's emotions going into lockdown or being in lockdown, being quarantined, whatever, during the pandemic, and just how everyone felt just kind of confined and just needed to break out. But especially when you're a teenager dealing with all these raging hormones, things tend to happen. The song itself is really well done, well written, well sung by everyone, even the not so strong singers of the cast like John Mulaney and Nick Kroll, but everyone else just gives it their all. And especially, I can never remember his name, but the actor for Matthew, he's just the best singer on the show, hands down. So definitely one to check out. Coming in at number 4 is an amazing song just for the simple fact it's sung by one person, but he's playing 2 different characters in this song, and it's just a hilarious song as well. Sung by Coach Steve and Rick. It's a song called Sex on a Lady. The first thing I love about the song is the doo-wop feel to it. It has that, because I love the old Motown sound of the doo-wop songs from that time period. So I love the sound of that. But then you add in the fact that this is sung by one person, being Nick Kroll, when he's doing both Coach Steve and Rick at the same time singing. Like, you have Coach Steve doing the majority of the singing, talking about how he's going to go get laid by Jay's mom. And then you have Rick cheering him on at the same time. But the way he's talking about this... The best way to describe Coach Steve is he's such a grown-up man-child, where he's talking about all these terms. I was going to make thick in the warm, and God, I love Coach Steve. Gonna chew on her hair, look on her face, gonna go number 3. But overall, it's a great song. Like I said, Nick Kroll isn't one of the strongest singers, but he gives it his all in this one, and he just does so well, especially doing both these parts for it. Now, he actually does have a better singing, better song that he does solo, and that's coming up a little later on. But this one just worked out so well, especially for Coach Steve being who he is, what we know about him in the series, and just how idiotic he is and carefree, and how honestly sweet and gentle he is. So I thought the song worked really well, and Nick Kroll did an amazing job. And Mark Rivers, who does the music for Big Mouth, I haven't talked about him these entire 2 videos, but Mark Rivers does such a phenomenal job with the music of this show. It's just outstanding. So yeah, Sex on a Lady is just amazing, amazing song. Coming in at number 3, this song harkens back to like acid trip songs, like First Editions just stopped in to see what condition my condition's in, songs like that, or songs like, anything that Frank Zappa did back in the day. It's just a complete trip of a song mixed with the visuals from this episode. But the song is so weird as well, like lyrically weird as well. But I love it. It's a great song. And when I found out that there was actually Big Mouth Music on streaming services, I was like, this better be on one of the compilations or I'm just going to riot. And it's on volume 2, and I'm so happy for that fact. Coming in at number 3 is the just flat out weird Poop Madness. Yes, you heard me. This is the song that plays when Andrew thinks he's going insane from not pooping at camp. That's basically the gist of it. Maury convinces him that he's going insane because he hasn't pooped at camp yet. And just the fecal matter backing up is messing with his brain. But the song is so well done. It kind of sounds like something the Beatles would have done during their Maharaja days. It's just got those weird visuals and the sound to it as well. And it just works. Everything works with this number. Andrew just freaking out, seeing sphincters on everything. And the music is so well done. It just sounds great. It's fun to listen to. It's a trip to watch when you're watching the episode. But again, this is one of the ones that I interchange. It's like this could be my favorite one week, but something else could be my favorite. But that's how much I love this song. It's just great, and it just works for the episode. And the episode itself was great too, but everything wrapped around that. So yeah, great song, trippy visuals, but still it all works together. Coming in at number 2, I'm not surprised. I'm actually kind of surprised that this song isn't the anthem for the state it's talking about, given all the crazy stories that come from the state of Florida. I love this song. It is sung by Maury, and Nick Kroll actually does a very decent singing job in this song. So, coming in at number 2, Anything Goes in Florida. Andrew and his family go on a trip to Florida to see his family down there, and he meets up with his cousin who sends him all these mixed signals, where Maury gets it in the poor boy's head that anything goes in Florida. He can get with his cousin and there would be no repercussions. And this song is just, wow, amazing. It is done like an 80s hair anthem, and they do such a fantastic job lyrically, musically. Nick Kroll singing just fits. Like I said before, how for Coach Steve, Rick he's okay as a singer. This is one of his strongest songs that he sings in the series. That's a lot of S's. Like I said, it's a hair metal type song and just works really well from beginning to end, just describing all these crazy things that allegedly happen in Florida. You know, like, give me 1 second. Talking about how, Margaritaville's, serial killers, children being eaten by alligators, people snorting or ingesting bath salt and eating people's faces, meth labs, Disney, the KKK, the Stand Your Ground law in Florida, how you can snort a rail off a dolphin naked and golfing. Ended up calling Florida America's glory holes. And it is a fantastic song. It's a one I have on repeat. It's just so well done because I love 80s hair metal. So, and I say that unashamedly. Of course, again, I'm also the same person who absolutely loves S Club 7 as well. I'm not ashamed by that either. Side tangent here, but I don't think you should be ashamed by any music you listen to. I don't care what you listen to, whether you listen to like country, Celine Dion, new metal, Limp Bizkit. I don't care what you listen to. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. I'm not gonna harp on you too badly for enjoying it. Yoko Ono, maybe. Paris Hilton, maybe. But anything else, no. You like what you like. It's, I love hair metal, S Club 7, Slipknot, Beethoven, anything really. So, yeah. But back to the matter at hand, yeah. Anything Goes in Florida is a fantastic song. Now, like I said earlier, I had a really tough time coming up with the top 5. So unfortunately, while I love this song, I couldn't place it in the top 10 at all. But it really encapsulates my feelings for the holiday that's coming up in a couple weeks. As an honorable mention, I got to talk about Valentine's Day from My Furry Valentine. It just, like I said, it encapsulates the things that I feel about the holiday because I've never been a fan of it at all. Even when I was in a relationship, my ex-girlfriend was also like, yeah, screw it, we don't have to celebrate Valentine's Day. I don't like that day. Right on, that makes me want to get you a present even more. But yeah, you can, it describes everything that everybody's going through at that time. Like Andrew's trying to impress Missy. Devin is trying to impress Devon. Jay has his own things going on where he wants to be a sex machine. You know, lightening that up a little bit from what he's actually calling himself. Jesse's being reminded of how her life is so messed up at this point with her parents' divorce. Nick is just not impressed with Valentine's Day at all because his parents were just idiots during that day. And then you have Matthew, who's like me, single person on Valentine's Day. He's like, this is it. It is really a big fat middle finger to those who are all alone on that day. But the song is done so well and it's singable, and great song. Coming in at number one. Ooh. Coming in at number one is, again, it's funny that this one is at number one because Nick Kroll sung Anything Goes in Florida. Nick Kroll sings this one as well. And as Rick, he's not the greatest singer, but I love the message of this song. It ended off season 5, I do believe, just in a great way because everything else was just kind of leading up to a cliffhanger all the other seasons. But this one just kind of ended the season off with all those story arcs, and I thought it was done really well. Coming in at number one, my favorite song from all of Big Mouth is What Are You Gonna Do? I loved how this season ended because you had everything going on with Jessie, with just dealing with her depression again. You had the introduction of the Gratitude, which I absolutely loved. It was voiced by Zach Galifianakis, so how could you go wrong with that one? Then you had at the end of the series, at the end of the season, I shouldn't say series because it's not ending yet. At the end of the season, you had Rick sing this wonderful song, What Are You Gonna Do? Now, it's like I said before, Nick Kroll at times can be a very good singer, and he can be okay. And this is one of the times where he's okay, but the message of this song and just the visuals to it as well, just Rick's carefree attitude. I just love the message of this song. And I thought it was a perfect way to end off the season because all the other previous seasons from 1 to 4, I think, because I think this ended off season 5, was that, you know, they all ended on a cliffhanger. This one had a definitive ending to it to end out all those story arcs and move on to something new for the next season. So that's why I really loved it. It had an air of finality to it, to a way. You could have ended off the series there, but it kept going for new stories, which I'm thankful for. You can't keep retreading the same stories over and over again. Yet some things bled over into the new season, which were you kind of needed. But I just thought this was a really good way to end off everything, end off all the storylines coming out of that season. I think we even had something with Nick dealing with his future self as well. Yeah, it was the whole thing with the Gratitude. So yeah, so well done. Nick Kroll does a fantastic job again, and just great song. And again, it's like I said before, all these could change over time. Like, given the next season of Big Mouth, I don't know when it's coming out, but there could be new songs that are better that come in that season. But we'll have to wait and see until that time. But what are your favorite songs of Big Mouth? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'd really love to read your thoughts on this one. While you're down there, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I'd really appreciate that. In the description, you're going to see all the ways you can help support this channel. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and Reddit. You can get your Irish Bandit merchandise from my Redbubble shop on redbubble.com. You can pick up your copy of my very first novel, Shade Falling, on Amazon. You can get it through either Kindle e-reader or you can get the paperback version, and you can buy me a coffee. Well, right now, I have a goal set up where I want to get some Elgato gear for my streaming setup, so that way everything can just look a little bit better. But if you can, definitely donate in the link below. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, tap the bell and you'll be notified whenever a brand new video goes live. I will be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy VII Remake. We're on episode number 2. Can't wait to play more of that. And then looking at the week ahead, we've got more Hush Hush. On Tuesday, I have my review of That 90s Show on Netflix. Wednesday, we have more Bioshock. If you saw yesterday's episode, you saw how salty I got with it. Things change a little bit in the next episode. Next Thursday, I have a theory about that 90s show that we're going to talk about. And then Friday, it's more Final Fantasy VII Remake. So hope you join me for that. Guys, have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you tomorrow for more Final Fantasy. Wow, that ended weirdly.